Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing my September TBR. It's been a long time since I've actually sat down and filmed a video. Might have been a month ago that I haven't done a sit down video. So, it's been a minute, but if you've been watching the vlogs, volleyball is really kicking my butt. We have done so much. We're probably 2 weeks into season and we've already played 8 games. It's an overnight tournament and that's not even including the 9 scrimmages that varsity did and JV did 8 scrimmages. We've done a lot. So hopefully over the next few weeks things will start to settle down a little bit and I'll actually get some time at home to actually do some of these sit down videos. I've got lots of things planned and I'm hoping to spend the next couple days doing a couple of those. So you may actually get to see a little bit more of these actual sit down longer videos rather than just 2-minute clips strung together into a vlog. But so let's get started. So I've got a couple of books that I'm carrying over from August into September. One of those is Jade Legacy. This is by Fonda Lee. And I'm probably 25%, 30% through, I think. It's fine so far. So I'm hoping to love it here soon. Sorry. The lighting from the computer is very noticeable. Anyways, so Jade Legacy. No, I'm reading Jade City. Jade City is the first one. And so far, we haven't really done a whole lot. We've sort of gotten established in the world and sort of figuring out what Jade is and sort of figuring out the enemies and the alliances a little bit. And that's really all that I know. It's like a mafia family, sort of, and just them living their lives, I guess. I really don't know what this is about, if you can't tell. And so, who knows? People seem to really love it, so I'm hoping that I'm going to love it. We're off to a slow start, but we will see. The second book that I'm carrying over, I'm actually almost done with. It is Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 2 in his first law series, and I am loving this reread. It is so much fun. And I love book 2 because we actually start getting a little bit more into our journey. The thing with Joe Abercrombie's first set of books with his first law trilogy is it's a lot of character development, a lot of character study. We're basically just following these people as they're living their lives in this world. It's a little bit grimdark. We're following a soldier and a barbarian and all these things, and they don't even know what they're doing. They're just kind of along for the ride. And so we're kind of along for the ride with them too. And watching them interact with each other is the best thing ever. And I just love it so much. And so if you have not read The First Law, I highly recommend it. You really have to get through the first book if you're plot driven in order to get to anything, because that first book is very character driven. But you're gonna love the characters. There's no way you don't love the characters because they're so relatable, even though they are horrible, horrible people. But so, I don't know that truly explained it, but I don't know if you really can explain the First Law series. It's all characters. I'm also hoping to get back to Words of Radiance. I haven't read it at all in August, I don't think. At all. And I don't even remember where I was. But I need to get back to it because I really want to read the 5th one. But I really need to finish reading the first 4 before I can get to that one. If you don't know what Words of Radiance is, this is a high epic fantasy by Brandon Sanderson. And we are following various people in this world. And they are trying to figure out their own world because, the lore that they're used to being just mythical is starting to come back. And they're trying to figure out where they all stand with everything. And they're trying to deal with their country sort of dividing into different camps and dealing with all kinds of mysteries and fantasy elements and they don't know what's happening. And it's got a little bit more plot than Joe Abercrombie does. Brandon Sanderson is well known for his plots. And it's just it's a slow thing because they're 1,200 pages. So I'm on book 2 and we're getting everything kind of established and we're still figuring things out from the first one. A lot of characters from the first one actually like colliding and intersecting their storylines into the second one. And that's a lot of fun. That's all that I remember from where I was. Um, Sorry, my hand's starting to hurt holding it. Is the characters are just starting to really interact and intersect in their storylines. So I enjoyed the second book. I love the second book. It is probably my favorite one. And there was this scene. Oh, I'm so excited to get back to this scene. I was literally screaming at the radio when I was listening to this audiobook the first time because I was so invested in this story. So I am excited to get back to it, but it's not a huge priority at this point. So it'll probably take me until Christmas to read it, which is fine. A new one on this list is Night of the Mannequins. I think this is by Stephen Graham Jones. And I watched Murphy's spoiler vlog on this book ages ago. And I never thought that I would read it. But then I was at Barnes and Noble and they had their like buy one, get one half off sale. So I ended up buying this one because it was part of that deal. So what I remember of her vlog and her description of this book, we've got these teenagers who decide to play a prank and they kind of take this mannequin into this movie theater with them and they pretend that it's real. And then it comes to life, apparently. Hold, and I'll read the description. Oh, okay, yeah. So basically, what I said, they're playing a prank. They take this mannequin into the theater and it wakes up and then it starts killing people. And our main character is trying to be a hero. And so it's it's a really short book, and so it's also part of my TBR challenge to read down my TBR. So that's a big part of like why I'm reading it. I was supposed to read Helm of Midnight, but this TBR video is taking forever, and Helm of Midnight is like a 19-hour audiobook, and this one is like 9 hours. So I swapped them out so that I can actually get this video out because it's been a minute. So yeah, that's the only reason why. I'll probably read Helm of Midnight in the next couple months, anyways. Okay, so this next one is The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. And this is a thriller by Anthony Horowitz. I've read Anthony Horowitz's young adult books. He wrote the Alex Rider series that I loved as a teenager. I also read his, I don't even remember what they were called. He has another young adult series, and I read most of those. I don't know that I read the conclusion, but I loved those. I love his plots. And so this one, we're following this detective who is trying to solve this crime. Apparently, this woman goes to a funeral parlor, she plans her funeral, and then later that day, she's dead. And so that really looks suspicious. So we have this detective who is trying to solve the murder. And here's the weird thing that I'm not sure I'm gonna like in this book, but the detective's partner is Anthony Horowitz himself. Like, he has written himself into this book, which is interesting and a little weird, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. So we will see. This one I may not enjoy, but I love Anthony Horowitz, or at least I used to. I probably haven't read anything by him in like 12 to 15 years, maybe. So we're going to give it a shot. I am also going to read My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. My Libby loan is due to come up at some point in September. So I will start that one. I know I have so many books that I've like started and not finished, but you know what? we're just a bit chaotic on the channel. And you know what? That's okay because it's very reflective of my reading life, anyways. I still have a book that I've been reading since like May, April, and I haven't touched it since. And it's still laying there waiting for me to pick it back up again. And I will. It's just not right now. So this is just who we are. This is who I am as a person. It's fine. But so, My Sister's Keeper. This is the one where we have a little girl who her sister has cancer, and she gets her own lawyer and she's trying to emancipate herself so that she no longer has to give parts of herself, like donate. She's a living donor for her sister, and she doesn't want to be anymore. And so she's gone to a lawyer to figure out her rights and get to where she is in charge of her own body. And Jodi Picoult writes this book so heartbreakingly, and you really feel for this little girl and for her sister, of course, and the family. And what I love about Jodi Picoult is that she writes things in a way that you can explore both sides of the equation, and neither answer is wrong. Like, you fully understand why someone would be on the side that they're on. And it's just incredible. She is an incredible author. And I have read this book before. I think maybe twice before, but it's been a long time. And there was a period of time a few months ago where I was in like a Jodi Picoult mood. And so I just re borrowed a bunch of stuff on Libby, but it's now available. You know how it goes. And then I have a romance on the list. It is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This one is the sequel to Better Than the Movies. I read it a few months ago and I loved it. That was the one where they were next door neighbors and he was helping her get noticed by her crush, and then they end up falling for each other. This is their sequel. And I guess they're in college and he messed up big time, and now he's trying to like win her back. And I love Jodi Picoult. Not Jodi. Can you tell that it's late and I need to go to bed? I love Lynn Painter's characters. She does a great job of making them very believable, and I really loved their interactions in the first one. So I'm really curious to see how they continue with that, because they're a couple years older at least, and they've been through a lot more. They're a little bit more mature. So I really wonder how that's going to be presented in this book. And so I'm super excited to read this one. And then the last one on this list is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This one is been out for a long time, long time. And I was never really like wanting to read it. Like, it would have been fine for me to read, but I was never like desperately wanting to read it. But I am joining a book club, and I'll tell you the story of that in just a second. So I'm joining a book club, and this is the book that they're reading. And so if I want to be part of the book club, then I kind of have to read the book, right? So that's what we're doing. But so the funny story of how I got into this book club, I sort of barged my way in. I have this friend who is a coworker at work, and she had posted last month about bringing snacks for the book club. And I commented on Facebook and I was like, "You're in a book club?" And she's like, "Why do I sense surprise?" I'm like, "Surprise, but like betrayal. Like, no one told me about a book club. Like, I always wanted to be in a book club. And I was finally in one at work. And you know what they did? They canceled it because it was only me and one other girl showing up. And so they canceled it. And so my coworker very kindly was like, "Hey, our next book is this. We're meeting on this date if you want to come." And I'm jumping on this. Like, I am absolutely going to do this. And so I'm super excited. I want to be part of a book club that like sticks, you know? And so here's hoping. But anyway, so Vicious. From what I remember of when this book came out, we're following these two friends. And, or well, they used to be friends. And then something happened, and now they're enemies, like hardcore enemies. And I think they have powers. That's all that I know. It's really all that I know. I'm very helpful, right? But so, I am hoping I like it. I found the audiobook on Audible, so that'll be easy. I should probably get reading it because I think our meeting date is in like 2 weeks. So I'm going to finish Before They Are Hanged. And then I'm going to read, what is it called? Better Than the Movies. No, Nothing Like the Movies. That's what the second one's called. I'll read it and Vicious in tandem so that I can get through both of those, because Nothing Like the Movies is due soon. I probably have like a week and a half to read it. And so I really need to be reading it. So, yeah, that's the plan. Anywho's, what all have you been reading? Have you read any of these? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.